Hi guys, and welcome to Randy at Home. It's October, November. We have a harvest of onions in front of me. All I can think is my mother's great recipe, French onion soup. Let's get cracking. First off, we're gonna start with the onions. Now, trick to the onions is you don't want these bad boys bleeding. So we're gonna go with cutting them with the spine. We're gonna go with the spine. All those little ribs you see, you never wanna cut against them. If you cut against them, they're bleeding, going on the chopping board, you're losing all that lovely flavors. You just see them at the bottom of the bowl. We don't wanna do that. So here we go. Boom, boom. We got yellow onions here and we got red onions. Red onions are gonna add some deep flavor as well as sweetness to go along with it. And the white onions are gonna give a nice balance to the sweetness. French onion soup always rings close to home, as my mother used to make this soup when I was actually quite young. And I definitely have had a bond with the soup since I would say 10 years old. My favorite part is the top, which is cheese. I love an abundance of cheese. It may look like we got a load of onions here, but be sure of it. We are going to be cooking these bad boys down, and you want loads of onions. The name of the soup is French onion soup, so you really want to get that onion flavor in there. So what I was talking about on how to cut the onion, if you cut the onion this way, those little veins right there, that's what's going to make the onion bleed, lose its juices. You don't want that. You want to keep that held inside, so you're going to go with the ribs. So that's the way to do it. It's actually one of the first vegetables I learned to chop about 20 years ago was an onion. And I think that's how I fell in love with cooking, is seeing my head chef chop an onion in front of me, whizzing through it thinking, I want to learn how to do that. I want to be fast and I want to do it with my eyes closed like I can do now. Definitely inspired me. So thanks very much, Ross. Definitely not one for the lighthearted. So you can see I got a lot of onions here. It's gonna be for quite a bit of soup, but I mean, if you're gonna make the soup, you might as well make enough for the first few days of your week, or make enough that you can freeze down, pull it out of the freezer, and a nice lunchtime snack for when your friends come over or just yourself. So we're crushing the garlic here. I like to leave the garlic crushed and whole. That way, when you're cooking it down, it doesn't really necessarily burn. And there's nothing better than when you're eating soup, picking up lovely long stringy onions, the garlic chunk coming through, biting that with the cheese and the bread. And I think I'm hitting the cameraman there with the garlic. It's going splatter. So, onions going in. We have a pan or a pot that's been sitting here. This is a little bit of my homemade herb oil. We got, just for you guys at home, we got some thyme in there, some garlic. It just sits there and it's ready to go. It's really a secret ingredient. We're going with all these onions. You can see there's a whole pile of onions there. So we're at about the halfway mark right now. Good thing about this dish is you can walk away from it for a while, come back to it, come back and forth. So really cooking time is not that much where you gotta really be into it. So halfway mark, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna lob a nice chunk of butter in. We're gonna get, I like to put a little bit of smoked paprika in there. A little bit more depth it adds it. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get quite a bit more salt in there. Get some more black pepper in there. See the onions, they're getting that brown. We've got another about 10-15 minutes to go before we add everything else. And I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce in there. This is gonna bring a little bit of kind of more of a meaty flavor, a little bit of more of a pep to it. So we're at the point now where it's time to add the red wine. You can see this is a deep, deep brown, and that's exactly what we're after. Red wine in. Whole bottle of red wine. Lovely. Now, our beef and chicken bouillon. Now this is very strong, so I'm gonna add another half liter of water. So we are at the most exciting part of the meal. It's the plate up. Going in the bowl, look at all the onions, lovely and stringy. That's what we're after. Now you can see a little bit of herbs going in on top of that, but nice and rustic. That's what it's about. Big bowl, French onion soup going down. Now, got some bread that we've toasted off. It's a bit stale there. Better so it doesn't soak up. And we're gonna go cheese. Now, cheese is to your own preference. I love cheese. We're using Provolone right now. I find it good. The reason why I like Provolone is it's nice and stringy and it stretches in your mouth and you chew it like bubble gum. More cheese, the better. Boom. This one's going straight in about 2 minutes till golden brown. This is the good dreams are made of. Boom. Bon appetit. Not quite like mom's, but she'd be proud. She'd be proud. Enjoy.